our project. As we know, geotechnical engineering is a branch of engineering that study and understand about the soil mechanics, which soil behavior, soil performance, and soil properties. This is very important because we can study the strength of the soil, especially to make a pavement. Pavement construction needs strong soil because the soil can support the vehicle's load. Therefore, before we construct our pavement, we need to ensure that the soil of the construction is really strong to get the best performance of pavement. In our project, we choose Jalan Perwira because it contains of a lot of pavement failure which is related to our course. This is pavement failure can be occur by the strength of soil was disturbed. Therefore, they have a lot of pavement failure such as pothole and alligator cracking. Therefore, Jalan Perwira is the best to do our project for this course. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Zati Amani. Today I will talk about pavement failure. Observation is conducted at Jalan Perwira to locate and identify the pavement failure there. So there is 4 major category of pavement failure, which is cracking, surface deformation, disintegration, and surface defect. There is 2 types of cracking that found at Jalan Perwira, which is fatigue cracking and edge cracking. Fatigue cracking is also known as crocodile and alligator cracking. It is a series of interconnected cracks that look like a scales on a reptile's back. It also creates a small irregular shaped pieces of pavement that leads to disintegration. While for edge cracking, it is those cracks that at the side of the road. If untreated for too long, the edge cracking will become the alligator cracking. There is one type of surface deformation found at Jalan Perwira, which is depression. Deformation is a small localized bull area that includes cracking. It can cause the hydroplaning for vehicles because when the depression is filled with water. There is one type of disintegration found at the location, which is potholes. It is most significant pavement failure there. Potholes is a bowl-shaped holes that's similar to the depression. It's also the end result of fatigue cracking. Usually, it's accompanied with water. And lastly, we have 2 types of surface defect, which is raveling and bleeding. Raveling is a pavement failure by the loss of asphalt and rocks. It also can lead to bleeding. And the second one is bleeding. Bleeding is the presence of excess asphalt on the road surface that create patches of asphalt cement. It is very slippery when wet and it can cause safety hazard. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Abdul Al-Mohamin bin Abu Bakar. I will explain you about poor soil. The most common factor in Southeast is high water table. If it's not accounted for at the time of construction, a high water table will erode the soil and eventually lead to pavement failure. This can be avoided by installing drain to keep the soil dry. If poor soil, if culprit, a simple repair job such as resurfacing will not last long enough to be worth by expense. By the time the soil problem has caused pavement failure deterioration, the subsurface is already in a such poor condition that the new surface will deteriorate quickly. Okay, second point is potholes. Potholes are a bowl-shaped hole similar to depressions. They are a progressive failure. First, small fragments of the top layer are dislodged. Over time, the distress will progress downward into the lower layers of the pavement. Potholes are often located in areas of poor drainage. Potholes are formed when the pavement disintegrates under traffic loading. Due to indicate strength in one or more layers of the pavement, usually accompanied by the presence of water. Most potholes would not occur if the root cause was repaired before development of the potholes. Repair by excavating and rebuilding. Area repairs or reconstruction may be required for extensive potholes. Traffic is the most important factor influencing pavement performance. The performance of pavement is mostly influenced by the loading magnitude, configuration, and the number of load repetition by heavy vehicles, such as example bus. Point number 4 is construction quality. Failure to be obtained proper compaction, improper moisture condition during construction, quality of material, and accurate layer thickness after compaction all directly affect the performance of pavement. This condition stress the need for skilled staff and the importance of good inspection and quality control procedures during construction. Okay, last factor is maintenance. Pavement performance depends on what, when, and how maintenance is performed. No matter how well the pavement is built, it will deteriorate over time based upon the mentioned factor. The timing of maintenance is very important. If a pavement is permitted to deteriorate to a very poor condition, it's typically about 2 to 3 years. Thus, postponing maintenance because of budget constraints will result in a significant financial penalty within a few years. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Muhammad Amirul Najmi Bashukri. Okay, in the task given, we choose this road, which known as Jalan Parit Sepadan Laut, to determine our task given, which is pavement failure. In this road, they're having a very worse pavement failure, as we know, as pothole, irrigator cracking, and longitudinal wedge failure. Okay, this road is a main road which is students, civilian, and teenagers use this road to go to the university and city around here. After their last repair in 1 year ago, this road still having the same failure. For that, let we go through what this failure related to soil properties.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Alihika. Okay, today I want to talk about soil properties. Soil are named and classified on the basis of physical and chemical properties. In their origin, known as layer. Okay, let's go about physical soil properties. First, it was about a color of soil. As we know, the color of the soil is not only brown; it have a different color. It came from range from black to white color. That is a texture of soil. It can be related with type of soil particle and their arrangement. Next is structure of the soil. Soil have a different geometric pattern. It has classified by shape, size, grade, and amenable. Porosity of soil. Porosity is influenced by the movement of air and water. After that, temperature of soil also is a physical soil of properties. It influences life process of soil, biota including plants. And lastly is about air of soil.
If the most common road problems, such as potholes, cracking, rutting, and shoving, It's generally not the asphalt itself that is to blame. It's the base. However, most common repair methods merely fill in the holes, seal the cracks, or cover it up with an additional layer of asphalt called an overlay. Over time, this accumulation eventually needs to be milled down to make room for yet another overlay. All the while, the real problem of failing or insufficient base is never addressed. So it's just a matter of time, and the holes, cracks, rutting, and shoving reappear in a seemingly never-ending cycle. Eventually, the road may need to be rehabilitated, requiring all of the asphalt and underlying material to be removed, hauled away, and new material to be hauled in, both of which are very costly and time-consuming. Full-depth reclamation, which has been around since the 60s, is simply the process of pulverizing an asphalt surface, along with all of its holes, cracks, and ruts, into a reusable material that is uniformly blended and incorporated into the insufficient or failing base, adding both volume and structure. If even greater stabilization is required, a variety of additives such as gravel, road base, cement, or other stabilizing materials can easily be incorporated. This homogeneous mixture can now be reshaped and, most importantly, recompacted, providing a more stable base. Finally, a new layer of chip seal or asphalt is applied, resulting in a more durable, longer-lasting, and smoother road for a small fraction of the cost of rehabilitation.
Okay, next we go to chemical soil properties. There are three main types in this chemical. First is nutrition. Soil hold onto nutrition element in a way similar to the way they retain water. Second is salinity. Some soil, particularly in arid region, hold a high level of salt. And the last is soil pH. The pH scale runs from 0 to 40. As we know, 0 means acid, high of acid, and 7 is neutral, and 40 is the most alkaline.
Okay. Hi. After we see the location before this, then we know that pavement failure is very related to soil properties that happen around that area. When the soil properties is become a problem when it not longer in its original shape. Okay, when the shape of when the structure of the soil start to transform to the others, such as make the void larger, then pavement failure will occur at the surface of the pavement. Then, for your information, soil type that the jalan parit sepadan laut is around the area is a quaternary sediment deposit soil.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Adia and I will conclude about this project. In conclusion, pavement failure is related with soil behavior. Moisture and water can actually weaken the underlying soil, thus leading to pavement failure. Construction of road pavement on soft soil can actually weaken the soil, thus leading to pavement failure. Therefore, it is important for engineers to have geotechnical knowledge so that we can reduce and avoid pavement failure from happening again. Besides, if the pavement failure is happen, maintenance should be done quickly so that we can prevent accident, especially for motorcyclists and bikers. Thank you.